Now if I want to save this into a particular variable, I want to store it or save it, then I can use the reverse assignment operator. This says take the ecom underscore mini data set, return the n underscore pages column as a vector, pass it on to the square root function, and the final result store it in y. Right, so you can go here and check the value of y. You can see the square root result. Right, now I can do one more way, right? I can store the output from the first step, which is ecom underscore mini, return the n underscore pages column, store it in y. Right, so now if I type y, I'll see the n underscore pages column as a vector. Now I want to compute the square root of the values in this vector and save it in y. So one way to do that would be y square root of y, right? Take the square root of y and save it in y. Okay, now let us try this using the assignment operator, right? So I'm going to change the value of y again. Now it is not the square root of n underscore pages column, it is just the value in the n underscore pages column. Now instead of this, what we'll do is we'll say compute, right? We'll say compute the square root of y and save it in y itself. Okay, so now if you see here, the value of y is what is found in the n underscore pages column, but once I run this code, the value of y will be the square root of the n underscore pages column, right? So we have taken a quick look at all the three operators. The exposition operator will expose or return a column in the data set. The pipe operator will take the output of the previous step, which is this one, right? Whatever is the result of that step and pass it on to the next function call, right? So it took whatever was the result from this step, which was the n underscore pages column as a vector, and it passed it on to the square root function. Now this operator, what it did was it computed the square root of the values in the y vector and reassigned it to y, right? So the y vector, initially it had these values, right? The values in the n underscore pages column. Now this operator, which is the assignment operator, it took all these values, okay? It computed the square root and it reassigned these values in y. So when you type y now, you'll see the square root of these values which were there in y earlier. Okay, so it might still look confusing for you, but as we go through more examples, you'll get a feel of how these pipe operators work. Right, now let us go to the next example here. Right, so here's a visual presentation of what we did. Right, so we had this ecom underscore mini data set. Using the exposition operator, we exposed or returned the pages n underscore pages column as a vector, and then using the pipe operator, we passed the n underscore pages column, which was returned as a vector, to the square root function to compute the square root of n underscore pages. Okay, so the first one returns or exposes a column, and the second one passes the output from the previous step to the function call in the next step. Okay, so here is again the code that we just tried.